Hey guys, welcome. Tony Porter, Tabletop Baseball Digest. I want to use this screen to intro the game today. It's Oakland at Detroit at the Tiger Stadium, and it's going to be Kenny Holtzman, the lefty for the A's, versus Mickey Lolich, the lefty for the Tigers. And so far this season, Kenny Holtzman, 13 starts, 97 innings pitched, 3.80 ERA with a 4-7 record, a 1.2 WHIP. Now in reality, he had a 1.27 WHIP, and in the replay, he's got a 1.26 WHIP. He was 19-17 in the replays, 4-7, 9 complete games. So Lolich, on the other hand, has a 1.2 WHIP, 1.24 WHIP in the replay, and in reality he had a 1.26 WHIP. 300 innings pitched, 27 games started. 27 complete games, 41 games started. So we're looking for a possible complete game by Lolich, more so than by Holtzman, but you never know. It all depends on how they're pitching. Now, the top hitters for both teams is Reggie for the A's at 346 so far, right? It's early. It's only 2 months into the season. And with the Tigers, it's going to be Willie Horton at 333. Home runs, it's Gene Tennis 13 with the A's and Willie Horton 13 with the Tigers. Stolen bases, Bill North 28 with the A's and Ed Brinkman with 3 on the Tigers. Obviously, the Tigers don't run around very much. The A's are 31-19. The Tigers are 15-33 so far. But the Tigers have a 4-game winning streak, and the A's have a 3-game winning streak. So this is the first game of, I believe it's a three-game series. This is Tuesday, so they'll probably play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then head out somewhere Friday. But we'll see. And we're ready to start. All right, we are ready to roll here in Detroit. It is the Athletics against the Tigers, and what a pitching matchup it is with Mickey Lolich for the hometown Tigers going up against Kenny Holtzman. Let's see what kind of stuff they will have. The top pitcher always goes first, and he will have his A stuff. And next we are going to roll for Holtzman, who will also have his A stuff. And lefties play with a modifier, light modifier. And let's start it up. Billy North is going to lead off. I'll go over the A's lineup very quickly. It's North, Campaneris, and Bando. Reggie Jackson, cleanup, Rudy and Darren Johnson. Then it's Tennis, Fossey, and Green. For the Tigers, who are in 6th place, by the way, the Athletics are in 1st, and they won the division in 74. The Tigers off to a terrible start, 15-33. Their lineup is going to be Sharon, Sutherland, and Kaline, Horton, Freehan, and Stanley, Cash, Ron, not Norm, Rodriguez, and Brinkman. Let's get it started. Here's the pitch to Bill North. And it's a 53. That is going to be a range check. And how we do this is we pull the card, we check and see the 53 is the shortstop. Now this first roll is the KD roll, and it doesn't qualify because his KD is 1-4. That was a 19, and a 14 may be a base hit. Who did I say? Shortstop. Over the shortstop's head. Let's see if Brinkman can catch up to it. I do not think he can. Not at a 14, a little bit high. And he is an 11, so that ball just out of his reach and drops in for a little Texas League dunker. And you got the always dangerous Bill North on first base. Although I do play automatic steals, this roll or this result does not qualify for that. So he won't be going, but that doesn't mean that Lolich is not going to keep a close eye on him for sure. Lolich has a weak arm. Holtzman has a medium arm, an average arm, and that has to do with pickoffs as well. Like pitchers with few pickoffs are going to get a weak arm rating, and pitchers with more pickoffs, I believe, will get an improved arm rating. and that plays a role, right? The pitcher's arm rating will play a role in his move to first base and so forth. Here's Bert Campaneris, and he just will swing away. He's a good bunter, not a good hit and run guy. So he's going to swing away, and that's a 45, which is going to be a fly ball left field. Horton got it for out number 1. And next up is Sal Bando. Bando, 6 home runs, batting .235. So far in 100 at bats. He spent a long time out of the lineup, about a month. And it's going to be a snake eyes, and that's going to be ball 4. Bando does walk a ton, has an excellent eye. Walks about 100 times a year. In this year, he walked 86 times, but drove in 100 runs. Tennis also walks. Jackson also walks. So all these players had an excellent eye and were willing to take a walk. That could be why they made it to the playoffs 5 years in a row, 3 of which they won the World Series. Here is Reginald Martinez Jackson, but that 73 World Series was a close one with the Mets. Holy smokes. That was a close one for sure. And next up is Reggie Jackson with a runners on first and second and only 1 out. So Lolich is under a little pressure here early on, and here's the pitch, and that is going to be a 46 and a 15, and that 15 is going to qualify for a foul ball, high fly ball to the left side, and that's Rodriguez near the stands, and he makes the catch, so that is 2 away, and that's a big out for Mickey Lolich, who in 74 is at age 33 years old. He was 16 and 21, so a 20-game loser, but had a 1.2 whip with 300 innings pitched and 27 complete games. Holy smokes. Here's Joe Rudy, who's having an outstanding start to the season. In 200 at-bats, batting .328. He batted .293. Here's the pitch, and that's a 55, and that is a drive down the line. Fair ball into the corner. Horton will play the carom, and they're going to pull up. They're going to stop Bando at third base, so it is an RBI double. And the A's take a 1-0 lead here. Big clutch double. Pull down the line. A rope down the line into the left field corner. And Horton played it well, but Rudy was standing at second base by the time that ball got into Sutherland. So it's Darren Johnson now. And let's roll, see what happens. Here's the pitch from Lolich. And that's a 46 with a 6. And that'll qualify as a ball that's hit into the stands, foul ball. And here goes again. The roll, and that's a 64, which will be a fly ball deep left field. Horton goes back to the track and makes the catch, and that retires the side. So Darren Johnson, who's got good power with 7 home runs and 200 at-bats, a 21 home run guy if he had played the whole season, 23 home run guy. And it's going to be, here we go, the bottom of the first. It's 1-0 A's, and Detroit is coming to bat. Dick Sharon had 129 at bats, so he's been. Now these are if you're asking, the glare is because I put these in these protectors, right? And they are the Stratomatic protectors or sleeves. And I just don't cut off the top. I could, but I don't in case I ever want to use them for strat or whatever. Who knows what I do. I just keep them that way. But it would probably be better if I cut off the tops. And I did that for a couple of seasons that where I used these sleeve protectors to protect the cards. Anyway, here's Sharon against Kenny Holtzman. Kenny Holtzman, let's talk about him this season. He is 4-7 with a 3.80 ERA. In reality, well, his whip is 1.26. It's 1.27 in reality. All right, so it's a 13, and that is a fly ball left field. And Rudy to his left, a couple of steps. He waits for it and makes the catch 1 away. Easy fly ball there for out number 1. Here's Gary Sutherland, who played the whole season, 150 games, batted .254. That's a 54 check, and that's going to send us to the Wilder chart. So we got to pull another card. And that other card says catcher drops the throw. If it's an F batter, he is a slow batter, so there will be a strikeout. And the catcher picks it up, throws over to first, and in time. Here's Kaline with 2 outs. Pitch from Holtzman, and that's a 63, and that'll be bounced to second base. That's an easy play for Green. And 1-2-3 for Holtzman. Here's Gene Tennis leading off. He leads the A's in home runs, and that's going to be a 34, and that's hit hard up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. So leadoff single for Gene Tennis. And next up is Fossey, who's not a great hit and run guy, but a decent bunt guy. And who's up after him? Dick Green. It's early to bunt. You know what? I'm just going to swing away. Here it goes, and that's a 36, and a 36 will be a 13. And if Sutherland's arm is strong, that'll be a 6-4-3 double play. At second base, his arm is average, so it'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice. And Fossey is now at first. He's an average speed guy. Here's Dick Green, not a good hit and run guy, an excellent bunter, and he'll square away. And that is it goes to third baseman. If Rodriguez's arm is an S, that's going to be he's going to go to second for the force, and it's an A. So it's a good bunt, and runner will move up into scoring position. So Green gets high fives in the dugout for bunting his man over into scoring position. Here's Bill North. The pitch from Lolich, and that's going to be a 46 with a 13, and that's going to be a foul ball. Back into the stands, a souvenir for a lucky fan off the bat of Bill North. And he's a switch hitter batting righty against the lefty Lolich. Here's the pitch to North, and that's going to be a 14, which will be ripped and caught by the second baseman Sutherland, who went up for it and came down with a snow cone. But he makes the catch, hangs on to it, and we go to the bottom of the second. Here goes Willie Horton leading off against Kenny Holtzman. That's a 12, and that is a 1-5 base on balls, but that's a 10. So that's hit hard to left field, and Rudy is right there, positioned perfectly. And next up is Bill Freehan. I've been looking at the ages for these 1974 Tigers. Most of them are in their mid to early 30s, most of them. Freehan is 32 years old. Here's the pitch, and that's a 14, which will be a fly ball center field now. And North lines it up, makes the catch. 2 outs, and here's Mickey Stanley. So Holtzman retired 5 in a row. Now, Mickey Stanley's a 31-year-old in 1974. He plays into the late 70s, 34, and that's going to be a little check swing and a dunker into center field in between Campaneris Green and North, and a little Texas leaguer for the first hit for the home team, Detroit Tigers, who trail 1-0. Here's Ron Cash, 62 at-bats, 20 games. Came up with 14 hits, 2 doubles, no homers, 5 RBIs. Don't know too much about this guy. He is 24 years old and a fast runner. So Stanley, I think, is also, no, he's average. All right, so let's do it. 2 outs, 1 on. Here's the pitch to Cash, and that is going to be a 15, which will be a tapper right back to Holtzman. Picks it up over to first, and that retires the side. All right, we got a leadoff double for Aurelio Rodriguez here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Detroit Tigers trail by 1. Next up is Brinkman. I don't bunt with the runner at second. So here's the pitch by Holtzman, a 51. That's going to be a potential error. Now, this 6 is too high for the KD check, so here we roll. Let's see who the ball, and that could be an error. It's a 6 again. It's going to be to the 3rd baseman, Bando. If that's an error, it's going to be an exotic error, so that's going to bring in like an unusual play. So let's see, let's slide this stuff over here. Bando is an 8, so he will boot it, and it's going to become an exotic error. So that forces me to take the chart, grab the chart here, exotic error chart. Where is that chart? Okay, I got it. Exotic error with a runner at second base. We're going to roll that D20, and it's going to read a 3 with a runner at second base. No, we don't have to roll, actually. It's just with a runner at second base. And it's going to be real bad throw by 3rd baseman. By the second baseman, runner scores with a runner at second. Okay, don't exactly know why he would be throwing. Probably, all right, let's see. A real bad throw by the second baseman. Oh, I see. Okay, real bad throw by the second baseman. Runner scores, If third base makes a bad throw home, roll D20 versus E rating. But he's not out if no error. Batter in at second base. So it is going to be an error. Okay, real bad throw to third base by second baseman. So it will be an error on the wait a second. This was an error on Bando, was it not? It was an error on Bando. Hold on a second. Let me figure this out. This is an... Alright, I was looking at the wrong place. So it's a runner on second, third baseman. I was looking in the wrong place. So it's a bad throw to third base. Bad throw to third base. Pitcher covers. Runner scores. Batter goes to second, and pitcher tries to throw him out. Roll 1d6. One bad throw. Batter to third. 2 to 5 is safe. So let's see. Oh, and that's a bad throw by the pitcher, and 2 errors on this play. I don't understand this at all. It's a mess. So a bad throw to third base. Why is that the third baseman's fault? Pitcher covers. Pitcher covers what? Runner scores. Batter goes to second. And pitcher tries to throw him out. Okay. All right. So that may have to be looked at. It's a little bit unclear. So third baseman with a runner at second. Bad throw to third base. That's the first issue that we're having, right? So it's a good throw to third base, but the ball hits off the pitcher's glove, or I'm sorry, the third baseman's glove, and the pitcher covers. Where does he cover? The pitcher is supposed to cover home, back up at home. Runner scores. Okay, scores on the error by the third baseman. We'll say it's a good throw, but it's a muff by the third baseman. And then the batter tries for second, and the pitcher then makes a bad throw to second. Batter goes to second, and pitcher tries to throw him out. But it doesn't say. Oh, batter to third. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, I got it now. Holy smokes! I had to figure all that out. And I will talk to them about that wording there. Not clear to me, and I don't think it's clear to anybody, because if it's a third baseman error, it's a third baseman error. It's not. So how are we going to do all this? That's my question now, because I'm using. Let me figure this out. Give me a second. All right, great. I was able to take care of it super fast. And we have Brinkman makes it all the way to third base. The game is tied now. Bando makes an error. And then the pitcher makes an error. Holtzman throwing to second base makes an error, and Brinkman goes all the way to third base. So with nobody out, we got a runner at third base, and it's early in the game. The A's have an outstanding offense, so we're not going to really worry too much about that run scoring. We just want to prevent anybody else. We want to prevent a bigger inning right now. That's what we're worried about. Still only the third inning. So here's Sharon Holtzman with the pitch at 64, and a 64 will be a rip to second base. And there's a chance for a double play here, a 2-3 or a 12-13, and no chance to get him at third. He dives back into third base. So it's an L4. A quick throw to Bando at third, the tag on Brinkman, and he's in there right under the tag. And so he got good wood. Sharon got good wood on the ball, but it was right into the glove of Green. It was a BB off his bat, though. And here's Gary Sutherland. Now we're going to bring the corners. You know what? We're going to bring the infield in on this, just because there's already one out, and we can risk something more now. 62, and that's going to be a ball that is hit too hard to left field. And let's see what's going to happen there. Ball hit to left field, and runner tags up and scores. Yes, sirree. With that 2, I roll that 2, and that's the white die. And on 10, it says, oh no, actually, it's just to left field, and it's a shallow left field. Racing in is Rudy, and he makes the catch. Faking the tag is Brinkman. He does not try to score. That would have been a 1. He would try to score and end score. So now it's going to be K-line with 2 outs. And now, of course, the infield can play regular depth. Here's the pitch from Holtzman to 13, and that'll be a high fly. Backing up is Campaneris. In comes Rudy. Rudy calls him off, makes the catch, and that retires his side. So that was a lot of excitement in that inning, trying to figure out that exotic play. But that was pretty cool and very realistic. So just the wording there, I think of the bad throw. I think they meant the third baseman makes a bad throw, but the way it's worded, it sounds like the third baseman received the bad throw. But so I guess it was a bad throw to first base, right? So yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it. So now I'm understanding it a little bit better. So it was a real bad throw home. All right, real bad. Oh no, that was a runner on third. Bad throw to third base. That doesn't make sense. Bad throw to third base, because with a runner on second, how's the third baseman going to make a bad throw to third base? And it's an error on the third baseman, right? So it could be by third base. Maybe the runner, I don't know. Just that has to be adjusted. I will contact them a little bit. All right. Let's see. This is a big game with a lot of moving parts. You know, it's got a lot, and you play as much as you want to. Now that doesn't come up very often, but as we go, you know, it's. I think games are evolving. You know, games are a living organism, and that are evolved, right? And they change. And the more we play them, the more we identify things. And I think all the games, regardless, APA, Strat, they've all gone through their period of change, right? And modifications and adding more advanced elements to the games, right? Strat started very basic one-sided cards only. Then they added lefty-righties. Then after that, they added a super advanced, and so on and so forth. All right, so here's Darren Johnson leading off the top of the 4th inning. And that is going to be a 31, and that I play as a range play. This will be to center field, and that is Stanley in center field. Now, he's a pretty good center fielder from what I remember, but he's only a 9, and that'll drop in right in front of Stanley. Try to get there, but did not make it. So that's going to be a single for Darren Johnson. He is an average base runner. Tennis is up next. And he'll just swing away. And here's the pitch from Lolich, and that's going to be a 52, a potential error. That first roll is KD. It doesn't qualify. And a 14, a 52 will be to the center fielder. And there's just no way that Stanley has that high a number in center field. No, he has a 3. So he'll make that catch. And Darren Johnson goes back to first. So that's 1 away now. Next up is Ray Fosse, catcher who collided with Pete Rose in that early, what was it, a 72 or 71 All-Star game? And here's the pitch, and he was never the same. That's a 33, and that'll be a tapper right back to the mound. Going to second is Lolich for the force, and no throw as Darren Johnson goes in hard to break it up. And that's 2 outs now with Fosse on at first. And here's Dick Green, who bunted last time at bat at 12, and that'll be popped up. Foul territory behind the plate, and that is the catcher. And that'll do it for that inning. All right, we are here in the bottom of the 5th inning with 2 outs, and the Tigers have 2 men on, and Holtzman's pitching to Al Kaline, who at this point is 39 years old and still hanging on. He hits 13 home runs in in a full season of 147 games, almost 560 at bats. And here's a pitch, and he lines one to left field, and that's going to score Sharon. And there's going to be a throw home. Wait a second. And that's on the money, and the tag by Fosse, and he is safe. So Sharon just made it in. What a slide by Sharon. came around, and I thought there was going to be no play at the plate, and Rudy came up throwing and launched a missile to the catcher, Fosse, and Fosse blocked the plate, but somehow Sharon got his hand around Fosse and was able to touch the plate, and Fosse's arguing, and out comes the A's manager to have at it with the umpire at home plate. And going to third and moving to second base on that single is Sutherland and Kaline. So Rudy with a bullet on target to home plate to get Sharon, and but he's called safe. So we're going to do that. It's going to be a single, and runner scores, and both runners move up one, and that's going to be a 2-1 Detroit lead now. And next up is Willie Horton. And here's the pitch by Holtzman, and a 45 will be a bouncer to the first baseman. Tennis takes it himself, and that retires the side. We go to the top of the sixth. Let's see if the A's can start cranking their offense and getting something going here against Lolich, who's really kind of gotten into a rhythm and has been dealing for a while now. He allowed that run in the first inning, but this is his fifth inning. It's only allowed 5 hits so far. Here's the pitch to Reggie Jackson, a 35, and that'll be a tapper right back to Lolich. He plays it over to first, and that's one down. Next up is Joe Rudy, steps in the box, and a 44, and that's a drive down the line, base hit, and that's going to go for extra bases, digging for second. Here's the throw from Horton to Sutherland, the tag, and he is safe at second base. A 1-out double for Rudy. That's his second double of the game, and both have been down the line into the left field corner. Here's Darren Johnson now with the A's having a runner at second base in scoring position, the tying run with only 1 out. Let's see what happens. Mickey Lolich gets the sign from Bill Freehan, and the pitch, and that's going to be a 34, and that's hit hard up the middle, and that's through for a base hit. And coming around to score will be Rudy, and that's a 3-1 lead. RBI single for Darren Johnson. I'm sorry, the game is tied 2-2 now. Oakland is batting. The game is tied 2-2, a tying RBI single by Darren Johnson. And here comes Gene Tennis now. So they're getting to Lolich after a while where Lolich was dealing. All of a sudden, there's 1 out here, runner on first, and it's Gene Tennis. And the pitch, and that is going to be a 26 against a lefty. That is line base hit. That's a split single, and 18 is going to allow Darren Johnson to go 2 bases, and the A's are threatening here with runners on first and third and only 1 out. Next up is Ray Fosse. Now the Tigers, what do they do here? Oh, infield in, we got to do it. Here's the pitch, and that's a 44 line base hit, center field, and scoring is Darren Johnson. Tennis on this one will go 1 base. They will stop Tennis at second base, and the A's now taking a 3-2 lead, 3-9-2 for Oakland and 2-6-0 for Detroit. The A's have runners on first, Fosse, and second, Tennis, and up to the plate is Dick Green. Dick Green on the season has 24 at-bats. He's not played a lot. I'll tell you, he has not played very much. Dick Green has 24 at-bats, 8 games, batting .042. And here's the pitch from Lolich. Looking for a double play. Will we get it? A 15, and it's going to be popped up. And that is the third baseman, Aurelio Rodriguez, in the outfield or on the outfield grass, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Coming up is Bill North. North, so far this season, is batting .255. He batted .260 in reality. And both runners take their lead. Fosse at first, Tennis at second. Bill North at the plate. Switch hitter, bats from the right side. Lolich is ready, and here's the pitch by Lolich. And that's going to be a 21. Struck him out with the curve. Got him. Way out in front, chasing a ball in the dirt, out of the strike zone, and North goes down. But the A's pick up a couple in the top of the 6th. They lead at 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Bill Freehan leading off against Kenny Holtzman. And that's a 23, which will be a line out to the first baseman, Tennis. So ripped, sweet spot on the bat, but right at Tennis. So it's an L3 if you're scoring at home. And next up is Mickey Stanley. Stanley on the season is really struggling in 200 bats, batting 200. Well, he's batting 206, but in reality, he batted 220. Here's the pitch by Kenny Holtzman of 43, and that will be tapped right back to Holtzman, who will make the play to first. And that is 2 away. Here's Ron Cash. Don't know who he is. I don't know if he's related to Norm Cash. I guess Cash could have been a fairly popular name back then. Here's the pitch. And that is a 14, which will be bounced to short. Campaneris up with it, fires the first low throw, scooped out by Tennis. But that's the third out. We go to the top of the 7th. We've got a good, close ball game going on here. Next up is Bert Campaneris. Yes, sirree. One of the leaders on this team. Excellent shortstop. 22, and that's going to be line base hit. And that's going to be a single, and he runs. So we're going to use that 9, put it to the side, and we're going to see if there's a pickoff. No pickoff, so that 9, there he goes. The throw down, not in time. So that is a stolen base. Now, I could roll again. I don't, just to minimize the number of rolls. He steals second base. The throw from Freehand is late, and Campaneris is in scoring position. Top of the 7th, nobody out. If I would have rolled a 1, by the way, on that green one, it would be a pickoff, and we use the pickoff chart. I have it on a little card format. If you get the cards, the facts, right, then you'll get those. I believe they come with those. All right, here is Sal Bando with a runner at second base. Now, we could walk Bando and set up a potential double play and face the lefties. Let's try to do that. Let's see. Hopefully we don't regret it, because next up is Reggie Jackson. Here's the pitch by Lolich, and that's a deep drive. That ball is way gone out of here. 3-run shot. 6-2 Oakland A's. Reggie Jackson. Holy smokes. Boy, he drove that ball deep into the stands here at Detroit Stadium, Tiger Stadium, and there was no doubt about that. So a 3-run shot for Reggie Jackson. That's his 7th of the season, scoring Campaneris and Bando ahead of him, and the A's now lead it 6-2. And of course, Lolich wishes he had that pitch back. Lolich ERA jumps to 4.40. His whip still pretty good, 1.29. His reality whip was 1.26. So here is Rudy, a 34, and that's hit up the middle, and that's through for a base hit just by the diving glove of Sutherland. And we're looking at Lolich now, who is struggling. He's allowed 6 runs, so I think we're going to go to the bullpen here. Yeah, let's see how many he's faced so far. 32, so he's almost to his limit. His limit is 36, but he's really struggling here, and there's no reason to keep him in. He's already allowed 12 hits and 6 runs, so we're going to pull him. And we're going to bring in somebody. Let's see who we can bring in here. All right, so we are in the bottom of the 9th with 1 out. 7-2, Oakland over Detroit. Oakland, 7 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors. Detroit, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Kenny Holtzman still on the mound, 2 outs away from a complete game victory. It will be his 5th victory of the season. He'll improve his record to 5-7. If he wins here, and he should. Next up is Mickey Stanley. And the pitch, and that's going to be a 41, which will be a fly ball, center field north under it. Makes the catch. And here's Ron Cash. And the pitch, 33, and that is ground ball, shortstop Campaneris. Throw to first, in time, ball game over. And the A's win it. Kenny Holtzman, 5-7 now. Lolich drops to 4-10. Kenny Holtzman had a great day. Basically, he allowed 1 earned run, 6 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts, pitched to 34 batters, and lowered his ERA to 3.57. The A's improved their record to 32-19. The Tigers fall to 15-34. Thanks for watching. This is Tony Porter. Remember to like and subscribe and comment. Let me know what you'd like to see on the channel, what teams you like. Let me know. See you guys very soon. Fall Classic Baseball.